So the seniors venture out into the formation lap. All 31 drivers ready for an exciting launch forward. So let's see how the competition will continue on. But it's definitely going to be an emerging challenge for Yuka Po and Kai Burke. The Hong Kong man versus the Australian once again, this time in senior, and there could be history riding on this for the Explorer chassis. So Yuka Po lining up in pole position, the championship leader after his win in round one. Kai Burke alongside him on the front row of the starting grid. Explorer versus Birala. So Yuka Po and Kai Burke on the front row, then Austin Gale and Kimi Chan on the second. Zadiev Raikal is alongside Fedos Fezrofosi, his teammate. Seventh on the starting grid for Miguel Quiñones, the Philippines racer, starting up in P7 alongside Ayan Marwa. Then Cooper Fish, the Australian, and Ethan Sito, having had a very tough weekend so far. Clifford Kanjanapis alongside Megat Zulkarnain. Then Ryan Gunavardhana and Karin Kaur. Jaden Pope is 15th alongside Toby Gale, two drivers that started the weekend towards the front. Harith O and Thomas George line up on the 9th row of the grid. Rounding out the top 20, 19th is Zhao Shiyan, 20th is Wadapong Aimochan. Then Paco Miguel Sarmiento alongside Lakshmanish Bafna. Seth Waldron is alongside his CRG Thailand teammate Andy Burrett. Then in 25th of the grid, it is Nawan Natipanon alongside Melvin Shane. And then it is Ben Nagayan along with Zachary Boyce. Wanasak Aimochan lines up on the front row of the Masters grid alongside Ahmad Zaidi Ben Masri. And Scott Wood, the British-based Malaysian, lining up 31st. I should say the Malaysian-based Brit, it's actually the other way round. But Yuka Po versus Kai Burke to the first corner. The lights will go now! And it's a cracking start from Kai Burke, the outside line getting a better launch as they run through the first corner. Kai Burke is going to have a little bit of a move to the first turn, and it's Yuka Po just about hanging on to it through the first couple of apexes. And we got a couple of drivers running wide. You don't want to run wide on this LYL circuit. There is so much standing water on the curbs, and two cars have gone together. So I'm afraid that is game over so far then for Lakshmanish Bafna and Zhao Shiyan. They've collided on the turn 3 hairpin. So bitter disappointment for those two. They're going to try and recover it and get back into the race if they can. Meanwhile, there's a battle going on for P3. That's Austin Gale getting on the inside of Kimi Chan. So Austin Gale into third position now ahead of Kimi Chan. And it looks like Zadiev Raikal wants a piece of the action as well. Under the bridge and up the crest through the long flowing left-hander. Over the top of the crest. And the two leaders, Yuka Po and Kai Burke, have got well clear of the rest. But third position is up for grabs, and Kimi Chan is not going to let Austin Gale get away with this easily. Down the main straight. Kimi Chan trying to gesture to Austin Gale, I'm going to work with you. We need to catch up to the two leaders here. And this is a very intense 14-lap race for the Superheat in Senior and Master. It's not going to be easy to settle. And certainly for Yuka Po, he's going to have so much difficulty trying to keep Kai Burke at bay. Nice move on the inside line from Toby Gale in the hairpin as he gets the run on Megat Zulkarnain. So some good performances there, but the FR Racing Johor driver has nothing he can do about Toby Gale for the moment. So still the racers go wheel to wheel, trying to find a little bit of extra pace. That looks like Ethan Sito trying to take on Ayan Marwa as they run in the big part of the top 10. Up the crest and over the top of the bridge again for Yuka Po, leading on the Explorer ahead of Kai Burke, but he has put a bit of daylight now between himself and Kai Burke on the Birolard Asia car. When I was talking to Yuka Po on Friday, he was basically tentative as to whether to use the Explorer or to stick with his trusty Kart Republic. It looks as though he's made the best decision for him. He really feels a good flow and rhythm in this particular car. Got a great battle further back as Toby Gale dives up the inside of Ethan Sito. That puts him into 8th position. Now they're going to give chase to the Alonso chassis of Ayan Marwa. Now to the inside hairpin. Nice dive on the inside from one of the Birolards as well. That looks to me like a charge through from the Mr. Go-Kart racing machine of Nawin Natapanon. So Nawin Natapanon making up an overtaking move. Couple of drivers struggling at the moment. Oh, and as someone going through pit lane, that is the 298 in trouble from earlier on. That's Lakshmanish Bafna. So the Indian driver, who was making great progress this weekend, sadly into the barriers at turn 3 on the opening lap. Right, now that Austin Gale has been released, He's actually starting to close up on the leading two men. So Austin Gale is getting on with this now. Up to the inside line, Ethan Cito is going to lose ground to Jaden Pope. Jaden Pope gets the slick shot through the hairpin, and Jaden Pope moves up. Now it looks like the number 239, sorry, of Ayan Marwa is going to try and get the same move. But now Yuka Po has no longer got the same daylight he had over Kai Burke. Third position, Austin Gale is closing in, so once more, Senior X30 in the lead is tightening up. That's what I love about the X30 classes. In other forms of karting, once you hit the front, it's pretty much same-o, same-o. But in X30, the second you hit the front, you've got to keep one eye on the road ahead and one eye over your shoulder. You're never going to lose the tack of the chasing pack behind. So Yuka Po trying to shake off Kai Burke and Austin Gale, who are now within a second of him. They're going to get human DRS on the main straight, as the kart drivers like to refer to it. Off the turn, out to the final hairpin. There's a lot of slipstream you can pick up and gain here on the main straight, as Kai Burke is going to have a big charge forward now from Austin Gale. But Gale should assist Kai Burke. He won't want to race him too hard here. He will just want to work with him to move further forward. And they've got to be careful, but now on the inside, Austin Gale goes for the move. Austin Gale in a second place, makes the overtake on Kai Burke, and that puts him in a second position. Now he's got to hope that Kai Burke will work with him as they go after the race leader, Yuka Po, on the Explorer. So the PR1 squad looking very comfortable, as there's a lot of overtaking moves coming in the midfield now, as drivers are starting to find their feet. A lot of big moves into the turn 4 hairpin. A few of them will have a go then into turn 8 now as well. Some good battles, just trying to pick up a move or two, as Karin Kaur got a good move there off the hairpin. That's Karin Kaur getting ahead of Warapong Aimwachan, I do believe. So a good race performance there from Karin Kaur as she picks off her latest opponent. But the top 4 drivers are so closely matched now. Yuka Po, Kai Burke, Austin Gale, Kimi Chan. A really solid race between the top 4, and even Zadia Vraikal and his Malaysian teammate Fedas Fezrofozi are giving a good chase behind in 5th and 6th. 7th position, trying to stay in the hunt, is Toby Gale. Jaden Pope is cursing his bad luck from yesterday. Got into the lead in the wet conditions, and then the water pipe lost out. Oh, nice move from Kai Burke. Into the hairpin. Kai Burke gets back in a second. But this is counterproductive. You don't want to race each other this hard. The more you battle for second, the more you give Yuka Po a gap in front. So Kai Burke clearly deciding that Austin Gale is not as quick as he is. Look, you work with me. I'll get Yuka Po. Austin Gale thinks otherwise. Look, we tried it with you and nothing really changed. So they're having this debate on the racetrack, but that daylight has got to be decreased now. We're on lap 6. And we're on a 14-lap race here. If they don't do something about Yuka Po soon, then the Explorer is just going to eke out further and further and further away. So Yuka Po goes into lap number 7 of this 14-lap race. So at the end of this one, we're going to be halfway home in the superheat. Kai Burke second, Austin Gale and Kimi Chan giving chase, then Fedas Fezrofozi ahead of Toby Gale and Zadia Vraikal. Jaden Pope, Ayan Marwa, and Ethan Cito now in the top 10. Here's the move from Kimi Chan. So Kimi Chan now gets the overtake on Austin Gale. So the reigning senior champion clearly feels, look, you're holding us all up here. Austin Gale goes back on the inside. And look how far they've dropped from the leading duo. This race, the drill between the two of them, is costing them so much time. So Austin Gale back in a 3rd position, but at the expense of the leading battle. Kimi Chan is back into 4th position, but now there's about 8 kart lengths between 2nd and 3rd. So Kai Burke has another big chance here behind Yuka Po, but the chasing quartet for 5th position are getting closer to Kimi Chan now. Fedas Fezrofozi, Toby Gale, Zadia Vraikal, and Jaden Pope. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And they are starting to gain ground on Kimi Chan. Meanwhile, we got a brilliant 3-kart scrap for 9th place between Ayan Marwa, Ethan Cito, and Clifford Kanjanapas. So Yuka Po is really struggling now. Kai Burke is all over him. And Kai Burke's going to go for the move. Kai Burke takes the lead from Yuka Po just beyond half distance. 7 laps done, 7 to go, and the lead changes as Kai Burke gets his move. There's problems on the home straight for Scott Wood. The British driver based in Malaysia, Scott Wood, has got a problem with his Sodi car on the home straight. So something is not quite right for Scott Wood. He is limping, and I don't think he's going to make the finish of this one. But Kai Burke has certainly thrown caution to the winds here and has got the move on the Explorer of the championship leader, Yuka Po. Up to the hairpin, and Kai Burke still has a decent advantage now over Yuka Po. But now comes the human DRS, the slipstream effect. Yuka Po charging after Kai Burke. Through turn 2, up towards the turn 3 apex, in through the hairpin. Kimi Chan putting pressure on Austin Gale. And then we've got Toby Gale, Fedos Fesrofosi, Zalia Vrykal and Jaden Pope, all trying to close up on the leading quartet. So Kai Burke still behind Yuka Po. And still behind him is Austin Gale. Some good battles further back in the pack, and there's a problem. We've had a spin. It's Karin Kaur. Karin Kaur appears to have come together with Cooper Fish. So Karin Kaur and Cooper Fish are off the racetrack. That's a real shame. Cooper Fish, the Australian, and Karin Kaur of Singapore, they're out of the race. That is the very talented female racer, Karin Kaur, who will be racing in the Champions of the Future Academy this autumn. But what a shame for Karin Kaur. She's had a very tough weekend again. Meanwhile, Jaden Pope has got his overtaking move on Zadia Vrykal. And the 22-year-old from Oran Park in New South Wales has got himself in a 7th position, as Clifford Kanjanapis has moved up into 9th ahead of Ayan Marwa and Ethan Sito. Then it is Megat Zulkarnain in front of Warapong Amochan, Quinones, George, Gunavardena and Sarmiento. Great racing in the mid-pack, but for the moment there's a real pressure developing on Yuka Po to try and take back what he feels is rightfully his. 2nd position behind Kai Burke. Austin Gale has dropped Kimi Chan as well. So Austin Gale now thinks he can go after the 2 leaders, and we've only got 5 laps to go, including this one. So Yuka Po is chasing down the race leader Kai Burke, and they've got some lap traffic to deal with in front of them shortly. So they're going to have a little bit of an opportunity now to go and work on Bendigayan and Zhao Xian. So Kai Burke and Yuka Po are going to have a tough race of it. A very close proximity battle up front. But Kai Burke, the Birla Australia driver, still having a great race in front of the Explorer of Yuka Po. Nothing to choose between these two. And Kimi Chan and Toby Gale are going to conflagrate together. They're going to need to work in unison to go after Austin Gale in 3rd. As the leading duo work their way through the traffic. They've got ahead of Bendigayan and they've got ahead of Zhao Xian. So now they're going to try and move further forward. But Austin Gale is closing in on both of them. Austin Gale is the man who's got the pace right now. So Austin Gale is closing up on both Burke and Yu. Over the top of the bridge. Kai Burke is trying to stretch away for the Explorer, but look back, and there is Austin Gale. Austin Gale really fancies his chances now. The Aussie, the Hong Kong man, and the Thai. 1, 2, and 3. And it's a fascinating duel. The Birla has so much pace here at LYL. First time of asking for them to come into the category and have a strong race of it. And it looks as though we've got a real problem developing now for Yuka Po, because he's going to have to go on the offense at the same time as going defensive to Austin Gale. So things are going to get pretty spicy now for Yuka Po on the Explorer. Kai Burke has 3 laps to deal with this. Austin Gale is doing everything he can to eat up the advantage, but it is going to be tough all the way. The checkered flag can't come soon enough for Kai Burke, but Yuka Po and Austin Gale are still putting in the pressure. And there's a nice little battle developing again for 4th place, as Kimi Chan has got the younger Gale brother reeling him in. Toby Gale is all over the back of Kimi Chan now. So it could be feathers in the cap time for Toby Gale if he can get one over on Kimi Chan in the closing 2 laps of racing. 2 to go for Kai Burke. Yuka Po on the Explorer. Not quite able to get close enough to Kai Burke to be a threat, whilst also maintaining that half a second advantage over Austin Gale. Further back though, and Toby Gale's going to slide in on Kimi Chan, and he gets the move. Great racing from Toby Gale into P4. Nothing that Kimi Chan could do to stop him coming. In the background, there is Toby Gale, dueling away with Kimi Chan still. Chan fancies his chances to take him back, but Toby Gale has done the hard work and got in front. Still they run in close proximity, running up the top of the crest of the hill. And Kai Burke, I think, has been able to stretch out enough of a distance between himself and Yukapo to be relatively comfortable. So Kai Burke can go into the final with a really positive outlook, and I believe the pole position. Slowing on the main straight, that is Lakshmanish Bafna, getting well out of the way of the leaders to make sure they can go through without impeding their races. But now Yukapo is in serious trouble. Austin Gale has caught him up. So Austin Gale all over the back of Yukapo. But even Austin Gale is going to need a daredevil do-or-die maneuver to get in front of Yukapo from that kind of distance. So I think it's going to be a safe move for Yukapo in second place. Kai Burke, though, has done exactly what he needed to do and cemented his position up front. It's a great battle for fourth place as Kimi Chan is going wheel to wheel with Toby Gale. He's trying his best, but Toby Gale has thwarted him for the moment. They've only got a few corners to go, but Yukapo has just about got the distance on Austin Gale, and Kai Burke has been able to stretch away from both of them. Into the final turn, and the Aussie is in command. Kai Burke will get the checkered flag here. Brilliant racing. Kai Burke gets in front of Yukapo and Austin Gale. Fourth position for Toby Gale, ahead of the reigning champion Kimi Chan in P5. So Austin Gale has got ahead of his brother Toby over the course of the weekend and runs in a good third place. Feroz Fesrofosi in front of Zadiev Raikal. Eighth position for Jaden Pope. Then Clifford Kanjanapis and Ayan Marwar to round out the top 10. Great racing here in LYL. And we've got an amazing final to look forward to later of 18 grueling laps of this LYL circuit. It will surely be an exciting run to the finish for all of our contenders in the senior category. So a really good challenge forward for our contenders. But for the moment, Kai Burke is the man standing head and shoulders above the rest. And an excellent display for all of the contenders in junior, cadet, and senior and master X30. We've had 3 fantastic races to kickstart our Sunday. Kai Burke from Yukapo and Austin Gale, Toby Gale and Kimi Chan, Feroz Fesrofosi ahead of Zadiev Raikal, Jaden Pope, Clifford Kanjanapis, and Ayan Marwar in the top 10. 11th for Ethan Sito in front of Megan Sukanainen and Wadapong Aimuchan, Miguel Quinones and TJ George. Then Ryan Gunavardena, Paco Miguel Sarmiento from Nawin Natapanon, Andy Burrett in front of Zachary Boyce, who bounces back into the top 20. 21st position for Harith O, where Sak Aimuchan is ahead of Melvin Shane. And then Seth Waldron, Ben Nagayan, and Zhao Shiyan. The low earth drivers, Ahmad Zaidi bin Masri, Lakshmanish Bafna, then the retirements, Karim Kaur and Cooper Fish. The one driver who couldn't make it to the end of the race as well was the British driver, now based here in Kuala Lumpur, Scott Wood, whose Sodi ended up coming to a stop at the half-distance mark. So a great start to proceedings then. Junior, cadet, and the senior and master super heats have been a fantastic start. We've got plenty more to come though. The finals are not too far away. Stick around here at LYL. The big show ain't far away.